right, listen up, you lot. You think you know Elon Musk. Think again. We're not here to just, rehash his latest brain fart on Twitter or whatever.
No way.
We are diving headfirst into the gloriously fucked up reality of his political power plays.
That's right. Forget the rockets, forget the Dogecoin pumps for a minute.
Yeah.
This deep dive is going full spelunker into the absolute garbage fire that is Musk's political meddling. We've got a mountain of pure, unadulterated crazy to sift through.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, there's his Wikipedia page, right? Which is probably updated hourly by some poor bastard. Then there's the delightfully savage takes from the Snarky AI.
Love that.
And this YouTube video that actually dares to ask why the right hates atheists but loves Elon Musk. I mean, it's a goddamn head-scratcher.
It really is. So our mission, should you be brave enough to stick around, and let's be honest, your morbid curiosity probably one, is to dissect the steaming pile of contradictions that makes up this whole saga. We're talking about a guy, a supposed visionary, who's slobbering all over far-right loons from Berlin to Buenos Aires.
What?
While simultaneously playing, shadow president here in the good old U.S. of A.
It's unbelievable.
We're cutting through the fanboy drivel, okay? Let's cut the crap and get straight to the what in the holy hell is actually going on. Let's get this dumpster fire blazing.
Okay, so let's trace the trajectory of this shit show. It wasn't like he crawled out of the womb wearing a Maggie hat, you know?
Right. Not exactly.
Initially, this dude was spraying money around like a broken sprinkler, hitting both the Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, I remember that phase.
There's a paper trail, donations to both sides. He even voted for Hillary Clinton back in 2016. Can you believe it?
Yeah, but then 2022 rolls around, and suddenly, bam, the Democrats are the party of division and hate.
Right. Convenient.
Sounds like someone mainlined a Breitbart binge and caught a terminal case of, Fox News brainworms.
Totally. Since then, it's been full throttle, pedal to the metal, race to the far right.
And despite him constantly bleating that he's some kind of moderate.
Oh, please.
He's been branded right-wing and conservative more times than he's had a tantrum on Twitter. Which is saying something.
It really is. And don't even get me started on the festering cesspool of conspiracy theories and outright lies he's been puking onto X.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Democrats, election fraud, the full QAnon dipshit deluxe package.
Pretty much. What's fascinating here is the sheer speed and apparent conviction of this faceplant into right-wing extremism.
Exactly. It's one thing to have a political leaning, right? It's another thing entirely to actively peddle provable falsehoods and cozy up to increasingly unhinged rhetoric.
Unhinged rhetoric? Buddy, we're just getting warmed up.
Oh, I know. Fasten your seatbelts, because the 2024 U.S. election is where this whole damn thing went supernova.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't just an endorsement. This was a full-blown bromance fueled by a bottomless money pit.
How much are we talking?
He dumped over $250 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that right. $250 million. Making him the undisputed kingpin of political donations in that entire god-awful spectacle.
And what did that obscene amount of cash buy him? Well, after Trump stumbled his way back into the White House, Musk was appointed to co-run this temporary Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
DOGE? Seriously, they named a government department after a fucking meme. I can't.
The name itself is so ludicrous, it sounds like a fever dream cooked up after too many Reddit threads. But hold on, it gets even more bananas.
Oh, I bet.
This DOGE operation reportedly got its grubby little hands on all sorts of top-secret government data.
No way.
Started sticking its nose into agency business, and there are even whispers they might have violated the Impoundment Control Act.
Which is, layman's terms, please.
Which, for those of you not fluent in bureaucratic bullshit, is basically a law that's supposed to stop the president from just randomly holding back money. Congress has already said, yep, spend it.
So basically, a billionaire man-child was given the keys to the national piggy bank.
Lovely. The public perception that emerged from this was equally insane. The Washington Post was slinging labels at him like unofficial co-president,
President Musk,
shadow president, even Trump's first buddy. The internet was drowning in AI-generated nightmares of Musk as some kind of puppet master with Trump dangling on strings. Cartoons depicted him holding Trump like a goddamn toddler after Oval Office meetings with his own kid in tow.
Remember that Time magazine cover? Musk lounging at the Resolute desk like he owns the damn place?
Oh, yeah.
And he was practically squatting at Mar-a-Lago during the transition. like some kind of ridiculously wealthy barnacle clinging to Trump's oversized ego makes you want to puke up your lunch.
And people were rightfully pissed off. There were actual protests. We choose to fight. Nobody elected Elon.
Who could? About time.
And even members of Congress were finally waking up and, raising some serious stink about it.
And his brilliant policy proposals, what were those again?
Oh, just,
Yeah.
He suggested just scrapping or not enforcing all federal regulations.
All of them. Every single goddamn one.
Every single one. It's like peak libertarian fantasy vomited into reality.
The dude clearly huffed too much exhaust from his Teslas and thinks he's some kind of Ayn Randian superhero with a flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, the U.S. freak show is only half the story, isn't it?
Not even close.
This global clown parade is truly something to behold.
Absolutely. Musk's deep dive into international politics is arguably even more disturbing, if you can believe it.
Go on.
He started throwing his considerable weight behind far-right parties, activists, and causes in at least 18 countries.
18.
At least. Europe, in particular, has been screaming bloody murder about what they see as blatant foreign interference.
Okay, where was it the worst? Germany.
Germany was a real dumpster fire. He basically became the unofficial mascot for Alternative for Germany, the AfD.
Oh, lovely. The far-right darlings.
Yep. He endorsed them on X, screeching, "Only the AfD can save Germany."
Wow.
He called then-Chancellor Olaf Scholz a fool and President Frank-Walter Steinmeier an anti-democratic tyrant.
What a charmer.
Yeah.
Real diplomatic.
And the interview with Alice Weidel, the AfD leader,
Yeah.
that was a goddamn clinic in cringe.
What happened?
She actually claimed Hitler was a communist.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
A historically illiterate and deeply offensive lie, and Musk just sat there and nodded like a brainless bobblehead, didn't challenge it at all.
Unbelievable. The backlash must have been huge.
Nuclear. But, he wasn't done embarrassing himself.
Of course not.
He beamed into an AfD rally via video call, whining about Germany's culture of remembrance.
Of complaining about acknowledging the Holocaust? Classy.
And bleating about too much of a focus on past guilt. Meanwhile, Weidel's practically orgasming with gratitude and ends with a cheery, "Make Germany great again."
You can't script this level of absurdity. It's like performance art as shattery.
Then he pens an op-ed in Die Welt practically licking the AfD's boots, which led to journalists quitting in protest. The man is a walking, talking PR disaster.
So Germany was bad. What about the UK?
His UK escapades were equally facepalm-inducing. He endorsed Reform UK, flirted with donating to Nigel Farage.
Another charmer.
Then inexplicably trashed him like yesterday's garbage. Just completely flipped.
Why? Who knows?
Who knows? Then he declared civil war was inevitable in the UK and shared some truly batshit conspiracy theory about detainment camps.
Standard Tuesday for Elon, then.
Pretty much. And who could forget him calling a UK minister a rape genocide apologist?
Classy. This guy's got a real talent for international diplomacy, doesn't he?
Apparently, his political compass is permanently stuck, pointing towards the nearest far-right shit stain. He even threw his weight behind Vox in Spain.
The Spanish far right. Sensing a theme.
Predicting their glorious election victory and showering praise on their stances. The Spanish prime minister and EU officials were, understandably, less than thrilled.
Shocker.
And closer to home, he's been busy slobbering over Pierre Poilievre and relentlessly mocking Justin Trudeau in Canada.
Right, because Canada needs his input.
There have even been calls to revoke his Canadian citizenship. Looks like his birth country wants him back about as much as a case of the clap.
Can't blame them. Okay, let's bring it back stateside for a sec. Talk about the money again. Before this recent insanity.
Right. Even before this headlong rush into right-wing lunacy, his companies were shoveling millions into lobbying and political contributions in the U.S. SpaceX spent over $4 million on lobbying, over $800K in contributions between 2002 and 2012.
Chump change for him, but still.
Exactly. And Musk himself has a history of spreading the wealth, donating to everyone from George W. Bush to Barack Obama to Marco Rubio. He's always played the game.
But those earlier donations are nothing compared to the recent tidal wave of cash, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Over $50 million to Citizens for Sanity.
What's their deal?
A group that peddles some seriously nasty anti-democrat garbage. Really vile stuff.
Figures. And then there was that DeSantis thing.
Oh, God, the spectacularly disastrous Twitter Spaces event where Ron DeSantis tried to launch his presidential campaign. A glitchy train wreck if there ever was one. Classic Musk tech.
Huh. And then the big one, the $277 million spent trying to drag Trump and his cronies back into power.
Making Musk the undisputed heavyweight champion of individual political donor a shattery.
It's just obscene amounts of money. What about that weird RBG pack?
Ugh. The RBG tech stunt was particularly low and, frankly, disgusting.
Tell me about it.
Dropping over $20 million to somehow link Trump to Ruth Bader Ginsburg's pro-abortion stance, despite her clear and vocal opposition to everything Trump stood for.
That makes zero sense.
None. And then it turns out Musk was the only idiot who donated, the sole donor.
Seriously. Just him.
Just him. Even Ginsburg's own granddaughter called it out for the cynical bullshit it was.
As she should. What a gross stunt. And didn't he try to buy a court seat somewhere, too?
And let's not forget the Wisconsin Supreme Court race where Musk's money flooded in for the Republican Brad Schemmel.
Who lost, right.
Who lost to Susan Crawford. So even his Scrooge McDuck-level cash reserves can't guarantee a win. Small comfort, but we'll take it.
Yeah, guess money can't buy everything. So this all boils down to the million-dollar question, or maybe the quarter-billion-dollar question. Why in the goddamn hell is the right so obsessed with this atheist tech bro?
Okay, the YouTube video we dissected offers a genuinely insightful historical perspective on this. It's quite interesting, actually.
Lay it on me.
It highlights the long-standing boner the religious right has had for pro-corporate agendas, all fueled by a frothing fear of communism.
Right, the old Red Scare playbook. How does that connect?
Well, the video lays out how back in the day, the fear of communism was conveniently twisted and tied to atheism to try and kill things like social safety nets and labor unions, anything that smelled like collective action.
Ah, okay. So it was always about keeping the fat cats fat and happy, protect the money.
Exactly. Always about the money and power. Now, the boogeymen have been rebranded as wokeism and cultural Marxism, but the underlying greed and power grab remain exactly the same.
And Musk fits in.
Yeah.
He's not religious.
Exactly. Musk, despite not believing in their sky daddy, has become a useful idiot in this fight.
A useful idiot. How so?
By loudly denouncing wokeness, whatever the hell that means this week, and pushing for policies that gut worker protections and regulations, he sings their economic song.
So even though the Bible-thumping brigade used to foam at the mouth over atheists, they're perfectly happy to make an exception for a guy who's practically a walking, talking billboard for their economic wish list.
Precisely. The video hits the nail on the head when it says the right's unity isn't really about shared values. It's all about one thing: more money and power for the wealthy.
Anyone who helps them get there is their new best friend, no matter what they believe or don't believe in.
You got it. Musk, the godless capitalist, fits that bill like a glove.
Makes a sick kind of sense. What did the Snarky AI say about all this?
The Snarky AI offers a far less academic but infinitely more entertaining take. It basically labels Musk a visionary genius
You sure?
and a reckless billionaire before ultimately concluding he's just a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And Scott Galloway's assessment of the DOGE debacle, calling it fuel for one of the greatest brand destructions of all time, that certainly rings true.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Did the AI point out any specifics?
Oh, it didn't pull any punches. Pointed out the truly insane moments that Hitler was a communist brain fart. Remember that?
How could I forget?
The chainsaw prop at CPAC, the public evisceration of Farage after cozying up, the constant stream of unhinged conspiracy theories.
It's like this guy wakes up every morning and asks himself, how can I be the biggest asshole on the internet today?
Pretty much. And the concerns about Musk's access to sensitive government data through DOGE. Yeah, the AI highlighted that too. That's not exactly filling anyone with confidence.
No shit. So let's try and wrap this up. Sum up this whole twisted circus.
Okay. We've witnessed Musk's transformation, right? Yeah. From someone who seemingly played both sides of the political field, or at least pretended to.
Yeah, further.
To a major and frankly terrifying power broker on the far right. His global endorsements of some truly reprehensible figures. His unprecedented and deeply unsettling role in the U.S. government via DOGE.
Check. The shadow presidency.
And the transparently self-serving reasons behind his embrace by certain factions of the right. His atheism be damned. It's all about the agenda.
So here's the big, steaming pile of a question we're leaving you, the listener, to chew on. Is Elon Musk a genuine convert to this right-wing garbage? Is he just a chaos agent setting the world on fire for his own amusement? Yep. Or simply a hyper-rich prick using his obscene wealth to get whatever the hell he wants? Consequences be damned.
And maybe more importantly, what are the truly terrifying long-term consequences of these kinds of unhinged individuals wielding this much unchecked power over political discourse and the actual running of governments?
Yeah. Ponder that for a while. What nugget of this glorious train wreck surprised you the most?
What other deeply disturbing questions does it raise about the increasingly blurry lines between unchecked technological power, unimaginable wealth, and the utterly fucked up state of global politics?
Keep digging, keep questioning everything.
And for God's sake, try not to lose too much sleep over it, though. Good luck with that.